In the sports world. Although our show is intended to be comedic, informative in nature, there may be some cuss words, because that's how humans in the real world talk. But with that said, the opinions expressed on this show do not serve in any way to demean or dismiss the right to the beliefs our audience or anyone on our panel may have. Now get ready to take it all in, as the countdown to crazy begins now.
3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome, sports people, to another jam-packed episode of the Sunday Night Sports Nerd Show. My name is Big E, and for the next 60 minutes, Scott and his co-host, also known as the Man Pack, will bring all the smoke they got in order to set this show and all of Sports Nerd Nation on fire. So sit back and lock in, Nation, as I set this episode off by introducing you to the founder, the host, and the star of the Sports Nerd Show, Scott, the Sports Nerd Wright.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Sports Nerds. I am your host, Scott, the Sports Nerd Wright, and along with my co-host, Mr. Elliot Big E Lamba, Bills Mafia member, Mr. John G. Olson, Ken Go Cowboys Koslow, and Wayne 49ers Forever Lynch. We will discuss the week that was in the world of sports. We are live each and every Sunday night on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and on the blockchain courtesy of Vim.tv. If you missed the live broadcast, you can watch the replays on Spotify, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, and on the blockchain via PD. Happy 1 week post NFL, or 2 weeks post NFL, guys. And I'm just wondering if Wayne and Elliot have gotten over the depression and the impact and the sadness that goes with losing to the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Wait a second. What do you mean depression? When did I come on the show depressed after they lost? I came on spitting fire because of certain things that went a certain way, you know?
I mean the referees, have you seen?
Yeah, I wasn't depressed. I was more annoyed than anything.
Okay.
You know what? I ain't wearing no football stuff, but I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, your background's blocking it, Elliot. Oh, that's a Christian McCaffrey jersey. Did you purchase that before or after the Super Bowl?
After.
Goose Tray.
Die-hard fan. I salute
CMC. You got to love it, John. I mean,
that's the only jersey I would get other than a Bills one would be CMC.
CMC, yeah.
He's awesome. I also got the Purdy one.
You got Brock Purdy as well.
Yep.
Assuming he's going to be the franchise quarterback in the future, is that what you're saying?
Yes, he will be.
Anthony, why would I have a rant?
But hey, you know what? Before we get going,
how's it going, Anthony?
Can I just say one thing? I've been thinking about it all week. You know how, a lot of people, we've been losing people left and right in our lives?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's kind of
more every day.
I mean, you think about it and it's like, well, we're not getting any younger.
No, we're not.
No, we're
you know
not.
What I'm saying? And I'd hate for something to happen to any of us before, another episode was to come up. But anyway, with that in mind, I had thought that if John would be willing, we should have a prayer at the end of the show every week.
I have no option. I have no business.
No complaints here.
I don't have any arguments with that. I mean, it'd be fine.
All right,
Cool. You won't get any arguments from me, that's for sure.
And on that note, just to let the viewers know, Mr. Ken Koslow is the senior member of this panel.
Happy birthday, Ken.
Happy birthday,
you,
Ken. 64 years young.
Cheers to you.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me?
He has gone through a heart attack and he still eats like a friggin' kid. But that's
Thank you, Anthony.
I've seen your food post, Ken. You're still eating like you're 24 instead of 64.
24 stone, maybe.
So,
no. In all seriousness, I just came from had a memorial service for a very good friend of mine this afternoon. So
so you say
feeling kind of melancholy, but that sandwich was dedicated to him because that was his favorite sandwich from that restaurant, and
Gotcha.
I devoured it for him. So
I'm sure it was good too, right?
It was awesome.
Sure.
What's up, Anthony?
Anthony, good to see you, brother.
I want to know why Anthony said I got
Facebook user, thank you very much.
That would be my sister wishing you a happy birthday.
Oh,
kid.
your sister. Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Thank you. This was the best birthday I've had in the last 5 years.
The fact that the school, people from the school, just loaded you up with balloons and how much
beyond all expectations
at your crossing position.
Yes.
Those who don't know, Mr. Ken Costello is a crossing guard for a local school.
Yes.
And he's been doing that for the last few years, and I know
5 years.
Love having him.
5th year.
Love doing it, Ken.
Among the many other things that Ken endeavors in.
Well, 40 years of sports journalism, Wayne, is the main reason why he's on this panel, is because he's forgotten more about sports than we know. So, yeah. So
I wish you'd tell some of these people who I get into arguments with that, because I mean they think, no, you don't know anything about college football.
I think college football is your main
I remember my first
topic
year.
Throughout your career, Ken.
Thank you again.
I can't touch that.
That was Clarky.
That's Clarky. Thank you, Clarky.
I can't touch that.
All right, so the season's over. The Chiefs are the champions again. There's a lot of free agent news out there right now.
Well, didn't franchise tag stuff start this week?
T. Higgins was franchise tagged by the Bengals, yes.
Yeah, it started, I should say.
Yes.
I knew they were going to do that. I mean, it's tough to kind of give it up, because if you get Joe Burrow back healthy, you know what he did when he was healthy with those two guys. They're probably going to lose Tyler Boyd.
Yep.
But I'm sure that they'll find a replacement for him. You know what I'm saying? I can see Gabe Davis going to the Bengals. You know, somebody like that.
See ya.
I see the whole thing being interesting, especially with the cap being raised to $255 million. So
$255.4 million is the cap now.
$30 million higher. Yep.
Where is this money coming from?
That fixes a lot of problems for a lot of teams.
Yep. The original estimate was $240 million is what it was going to be raised to. So 255, that is a boost and a half.
Well, it helps the Browns, not to be a homer, but it helps the Browns because they've got a lot of guys that need to work around contracts, including guys like Nick Chubb.
Well, you know, Chubb coming back off that injury, he's going to have to compromise somehow. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think Chubb likes being a Brown so much he will do that, Elliot.
Yeah, for the sake of the team.
He's going to take the hometown discount.
Yeah, absolutely.
To answer Brett's question, the cap was raised to $255 million.
Yep.
255.4 to be exact.
$30.4 million.
Yes.
Chump change.
Wow.
Chump.
Maybe we will be able to afford to re-sign Dak Prescott after all.
Yeah, $60 million is still a big hit.
I mean, Ken, are you still convinced that Dak is the guy to lead you to the promised land? Are you still convinced?
Well,
I don't have any other options right now.
I think Ken knows that that's not.
Who are the big quarterbacks on the market this year? Kirk Cousins? That's about it.
Yeah, about it. That's a big yeah.
So, who's better than Dak?
There's not a lot of them out there, and Dallas doesn't have a top 10 pick, so they're not going to be able to get the best quarterbacks in this draft on their roster. So
nope. We might as well re-sign him.
They're going to roll the dice with Dak again to see how far they can go.
They have to. That's all they got.
Great choice.
Hey, Baker had a good season, man. Okay.
Well, Baker, the Bucs are going to try and bring Baker back.
No, you'll get him.
Well, they ought to, but you know what? What? Now that they got that increase, if Tampa Bay can push it, they got to bring back Mike Evans.
Yes.
Yes.
That would be their main concern, in my
That'd be
opinion.
the
They
package
better.
deal. That'd be the package deal that's got to happen. Because I think Baker and Evans had a connection that.
Yeah.
Well, and reports out of
Dangerous.
the NFL reports say that the Bucks are aggressively approaching a Mike Evans extension, a Mike Evans new contract. So
Yeah.
they're trying to
should.
get him back in, trying to get him to keep
Yeah.
him back.
They should.
Well, the
Yeah, I mean,
franchise-
Mike Evans wants to be a Buccaneer for life. He's already said that in the public, and
Then
I
make it
don't see,
happen. I don't
I
see
don't-
how they don't make it happen.
I don't see him going anywhere. I think he stays with the Bucks. I think the Bucks
Yeah.
get the deal done.
well, the franchise tag for quarterbacks is either 38.3 or 38.8 for a tag for the franchise tag. So
Which
if they-
quarterback is going to get the franchise tag, Wayne? What do you think?
Well, we're talking about Tampa Bay, so unless they tag Baker for 1 year, unless they come up with some kind of a 2 or 3 year deal to, to spread it out evenly over that time
Yeah,
frame.
but he's a free. He's
He's a free agent. So
Mhm.
as far as Devin White goes. I think Devin White showed some signs of slowing down this year. He wasn't the same fierce Devin White that he was the last few seasons. So as far as a contract for him, I mean, if he's willing to take, that hometown discount, because they got to make room to keep Baker and Evans. And that has to be the top priority.
that has, you're right. That has to be the connection that they need to keep.
Evans 1 and Baker Mayfield 2.
One without the other doesn't work.
I mean, Baker and Evans had a really good connection this past season. They were really on the same page, and I foresee the Bucks doing what they got to do to get both Evans and Mayfield back in the fold for next season. I really do see that happening. So I know Baker is really happy in Tampa, and as a former Browns quarterback, I have vested interest in Baker Mayfield. I hope he does well. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, he's also a quarterback of your second team.
Even though you
Right.
even though you cried the night they drafted him,
Fuck you, John.
and they weren't
Anyway.
tears of joy either.
Wow, language. Man, I didn't deserve that, Scott.
Well, I'm sorry. Well,
I'm not trolling you that much.
I am not a Buccaneers fan any longer. I
I know. I mean, what was your username when I first met you? Brown Buck?
Brown Buck. Yes,
Brown
hey.
Buck.
Brown Buck.
That's how Ken and Wayne know me as.
That's-
From our days back in MSN chat, but, and I was around when the Bucks won their Super Bowl in 2002. I was very proud to be a Bucks fan at that point, but the Glazers and John Gruden destroyed my love of the Buccaneers.
It's funny how owners have a tendency of doing that to teams.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. AJ Brown has been on the record to say he wants to be in Philadelphia. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. He's one of their top weapons. So,
Yeah.
Well, again, they just got a $30 million increase on the cap.
right.
Why would it be so hard?
Let me just reach out and say, Clarky, the main thing about Russell Wilson is the rumors are saying that he's going to be going to Pittsburgh.
I've heard that.
Well, I know that Atlanta and the Raiders have reached out.
For Russell Wilson?
For, no, not Russell Wilson, for Justin Fields.
Yeah, guys,
Fields,
that's going to be the big thing going into the draft. Do the Bears draft a new quarterback and what's his face from
It's
USC,
the Falcons and the Raiders that are right now.
or do they stand pat with Justin Fields
Fields.
with the Bears? That's
He's
they
gone.
got the number one overall pick. Are they going to take the kid from USC, or are they going to draft, or are they going to go bounce down and let somebody else take the number one pick? So I mean, that's the biggest story going into the draft. Okay.
But
I
you
don't
know
think
what?
it's
I
that big of a story because I think Fields they're going to get Caleb Williams. That's That's a no-brainer.
I mean, Wayne, you live in Southern California. Can you tell me how you? I mean, have you seen a lot of USC games? You were watching that? We're watching Caleb Williams.
This year was not as good as last year, obviously, but I mean, just the local news stations here. Let's just say it's annoying when they start talking about USC and Caleb Williams. When they're not talking about the 640 billion Dodgers and their payroll. So it's USC, Caleb Williams, and a #1 draft pick.
But I keep hearing that this kid Drake May is probably the best quarterback.
Is that the kid from North Carolina?
Yep.
See the hat?
Yep.
How good is Drake May? You watching him, Wayne?
Oh yeah, he's good.
There's some guys that are in the the on the shows and whatnot that are saying that if they're gonna draft a quarterback, draft Drake May.
The rumor I've heard is
Washington
Drake May
after
number
him.
3 to the Patriots because
I hear somebody's gonna try to trade up. I heard somebody's trying to trade up. The Giants.
Oh really? Oh
the
okay.
Giants are trying to trade up.
I heard Drake May 3 to the Patriots. Caleb Williams
I heard
number 1.
Drake May to
Right.
Washington.
They're gonna get Jaden Daniels.
Who
That's
is-
what they're trying to get.
Washington, Jaden Daniels at number 2 and Drake May number 3 for the Patriots. That's what I've seen in some of the mock drafts.
Jade, that's the kid from LSU, right?
LSU, yes.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Brett, I'm going to answer your question.
I think Bo Callahan's going first overall.
Bo Callahan. Thank you, John. Draft
That's
day
for the
reference.
UFL.
Nice for you, John.
I don't know anything about college
Brett
ball,
is
so-
asking about the competition committee discussing at length the XFL kickoff.
That was already
I don't
squashed.
remember anything about the XFL
That was
kickoff.
already squashed.
They're staying with the normal kickoff for this year.
It's not happening.
They're staying
Well,
with
the
the
meeting-
normal kickoff.
That was shot down a couple weeks ago.
Right, but the
Man,
meetings
Brett,
in March, the
worse
NFL
and worse.
meetings in March are going to approach that.
Brett's
I'm not
regressing.
saying it's going to happen next season, but they're looking into it hardcore.
I love the XFL kickoff. At least you have the option to return it. And the way they had the rules set up, you have to kick it within the
Their goal is
20-yard line.
Their
to get
goal
a
is to
return.
bring the return back to the kickoffs, and yet avoid the
Massive collision.
Collisions.
The high velocity collisions.
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And if they use the XFL kickoff variety,
Well, they're not doing it this year. They shot it down a couple weeks ago.
no, they're not going to do it this year. But I mean, it's an option for them. So.
And
sure
the XFL where
they'll-
you have to maintain a freeze position until the kick returner has the ball.
Right, but
Yeah.
the
Then they
return team and the kickoff team are only 5 yards apart
Mm-hmm.
as the kickoff goes down, and then once the returner catches the ball, then we can go in and go after him.
They need to retool the onside kick, yo.
How do you retool that, Elliot? What do you think?
I haven't put any thought into it. I'm just saying if they're retooling one thing, they should think about retooling another as well.
Well, just like in the XFL, that you either had the choice of the onside kick or a 4th and 15.
Well, you see
Yeah.
how they moved the extra point back. Remember, it's 33 yards now. It's no
Yeah.
longer 20.
They
like it
need to
was in the
put that
past.
back where it was.
So, I mean, the smart people there in the NFL, the smarter people, should be able to come up with something to make the onside kick a little bit more evened out. Let's just say, because what it's like 5% or even less than
9%. 9% this past year.
recovery rate.
Yep, 9%.
That's terrible. You know what I mean? They made adjustments for the kickoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so basically where you pretty much don't get to run any back anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can fair catch, I think, inside the 10-yard line.
And the ball will go to the 25 or 20, whatever it was. Yeah.
I don't think I saw a single kickoff return for a touchdown last year. This season.
I don't
remember
recall
one.
any either. So
Punt returns, not kickoff.
Punt returns maybe, but not any kickoff.
Well, there was one on the very first night. I'm sorry, John.
killing me, Clarky.
Clark, you're killing John. Come on, man.
When the Jets,
Especially if he's going to the Patriots.
Yes.
Well, if he goes to the Patriots, this will be the end of my relationship with Drake May.
You're writing him off, huh?
Are you a Patriots hater, you there, Wayne, or join the club?
I think he's going to go. I think he might go to the Commanders.
That's what I keep hearing.
The Commanders, if the Commanders can't find a way to get Caleb, then they're going to go after Drake May.
Well, I mean, it depends on what the Bears do. The Bears are going to, if they're going to draft him or not. And
again,
if he doesn't, he's going to go to the Commanders.
Maybe they should trade down, try to get a couple more picks from him, so that they can get.
Well, if the Commanders trade down, they're going to get
no, they would trade up. I'm talking about.
You're talking about Chicago, right?
Yeah, the Bears would be trading down.
Right. The Bears trade down. They're going to get a Fort Knox worth of trades of picks.
Not necessarily. They're still going to get the second pick.
Yeah, if they trade with the
You just throw them
Commanders.
picks. You throw them a couple picks this year and next year. You know what I'm saying? Boom, done.
The thing about Justin Fields is he wants to stay in Chicago.
He does.
And,
He's tired of all the talk, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, make up your mind. Give him some kind of.
I still say they should trade down and just get Marvin Harrison and put him on the other side of DJ Moore and leave Justin Fields right where he's at.
That would be a good decision.
It would be.
There's one problem with what you say, Elliot. There's one problem with what you say.
What's that?
It makes sense. So it won't happen. It makes sense. So it won't happen.
Well, I mean, think about it. You got Marvin Harrison on one side. You got DJ Moore on the other. Cole Kmet at tight end. You got
Harrison would be the number one in that receiving corps.
Well, either way, it'd be 1A and 1B as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Once again, it makes sense. And you may have heard this expression before.
Which one are you going to double? Leave the other one wide open.
You may have heard this expression before. You're preaching to the choir.
Right.
I understand what you're saying, but
and Clarky makes a good point. The Bears also have the 5th pick in the draft as well. So they got two picks in the top 5.
I think they have the 9th.
It's the 9th. It's not the 5th. It's the 9th.
Oh, it's the 9th?
It's the 9th.
Okay.
But
they have 2 top 10 picks in the draft.
Again, if they trade it down, let somebody up get it there, keep Fields, trade down.
They're going to get
a few extra draft picks.
They're going to get a buttload of draft picks if they trade Justin Fields. They're going to get a boatload of them.
But they're not. They're going to trade him.
They could
wait. To Atlanta.
Yeah. They could wait. They could draft Caleb Williams and then trade Justin Fields. If that's what they've made up their mind to do.
Once again, not going to happen because it makes too much sense.
I mean, guys, does it make sense to keep Fields as opposed to drafting?
Well, from an economic standpoint, no. You got to pay him $200 million.
Because you got to bring the rookie in on a rookie contract, and it's less impact on the cap.
And that opens it up for more. And with the increase in the salary cap, that brings them more leverage to go out and get other.
Well, not only that, but it also gives them leverage to with that number 9 pick to go after maybe Marvin Harrison or anybody else.
Marvin Harrison doesn't go to 9.
He will be gone at 4 if he's not if that transaction that Elliott brought up doesn't happen. He'll be gone at 4. Arizona will get him at 4.
Oh yeah, he'll go to the Cardinals at 4. Because you know how the Cardinals are about receivers.
Yeah,
Marvin Harrison's their next Larry Fitzgerald.
They revealed their attention to wide receivers when they traded Dustin Hopkins, but that's just me.
Dustin Hopkins.
Yeah, was that right?
No,
I'm
kicker?
that's the kicker for the Browns.
Kicker, yo.
D-Hop. Excuse me.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins, you mean?
Yeah.
Dustin Hopkins. I'm like, dude, you're talking fantasy football now.
No, it's the Browns kicker, so he's in my brain. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
All Browns all the time.
Absolutely. They can win.
Dustin can't catch him like DeAndre does.
Listen, like, what's with the Patriots? Enough with the Patriots, man. Like, let them be obsolete for a decade, please.
Please.
Dude, they
need a quarterback.
They need a quarterback.
They need a quarterback. They're not going to go after Marvin Harrison.
Mac and Cheese Jones ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Okay. Who
Macaroni
they got behind
Jones,
him?
ain't it?
Who they got behind him? Stidham or who the fuck?
No, they got that.
No, Stidham was in Oakland. I mean, Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, he's in Vegas.
That's right.
Well, you know, Vegas needs a quarterback.
Bailey Zappi is the other one.
Vegas could get
Your favorite quarterback, John?
Who?
Bailey Zappi.
Oh, they're all my favorite.
Bailey
Everybody in Patriots land is my favorite.
Well, if what Brett says is true, and they get Marvin Harrison at 3, then as I affectionately called him when he was in San Francisco, maybe they'll have a reunion with Jimmy the Crapolo.
No, man, hell no.
Oh, wow.
Hell fucking no.
Clarky says, don't worry, John. The Patriots will suck for a while.
See, it makes me feel a little bit better when a Patriots fan says that. They're not
Right.
totally deluded, but
Right.
They sucked for the entire 1970s.
But they didn't have Robert Kraft,
No.
and that's the X factor because he won't
The
settle.
problem is Robert Kraft has been making bad decisions, and it shows. After Brady left, he's been making bad decisions.
It wasn't that. It was only a couple of years. It's not like Brady left a decade ago.
Right.
So, yeah.
But Brady leaving and winning a Super Bowl the next year,
Poetic
they
justice.
say that's got to
That
hurt.
puts a little bit of a tarnish
tell you
on
what.
Bill Belichick's career. Don't
I'll
you
tell
think?
you
Very
what.
much so.
I'll tell you what. He was a busted defensive play away from going back a second year.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Cooper Kupp doesn't make that play, where the defense just let him get behind him,
Yeah.
Tampa wins that game, they go to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, just like if Jaquaski Tart would have caught that pop up.
Oh man, he Stevie wondered it, man.
Oh yeah. no, Stevie would have caught it.
Yeah, Stevie probably would have caught it. No, that was terrible. Yeah, that helped the Rams get in.
So now I just call him Jaquaski Pop Tart.
Snap, crackle, pop tart.
So, in other fun NFL news, a bunch of guys tried to jump Cam Newton and got their butts whooped.
I saw that video.
Oh, really?
Cam Newton.
Oh, I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, he took on 3 guys at once. They have videos of it, and he's just
And the
flinging
3 guys
around.
lost.
Yeah, he's flinging guys around like rag dolls. It was pretty funny. Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
Next
Maybe
thing
they
you know,
make
he'll
fun
be
of
the
the
next
silly hats. I don't know. Yeah.
pay-per-view.
Yeah. Oh, and Tyreek Hill said that he could beat up that boxing guy, or Jake, whatever, Jake Paul.
Jake
or
Paul.
whatever.
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He could out quick him, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're running. Oh, run. Yeah.
In other news of no importance to anyone, I watched a full half of NBA basketball today.
Wow, I'm impressed with it.
I actually watched 2 games.
I watched the last half of that Phoenix Lakers game, the second half.
I watched the whole thing.
I made a concerted effort to sit there and watch it. It pained me for a while, but I watched
Impressive.
it.
Well, I watch them because I bet on them.
Well, you got a whole entirely different reason.
Well, that makes sense, though.
I do daily fantasy with
Did the Lakers come back and win that game?
They did not.
They did not.
not.
And of course, being here in LA, I loved it. They give
Which
me
NBA team do you follow, man?
barbershop fodder.
Remind me, which NBA team you following?
For me, I don't really follow the NBA, but if I had to follow an NBA team, I would
Raptors.
follow San Antonio because I like Greg Popovich.
Well, Pop's the greatest coach of all time.
Yeah, I like Popovich, so I would follow San Antonio. But I like college basketball, and as you can see, as I'm
It's a
properly
Tar Heel.
representing-
It's Tar Heels versus the world. I know.
That's right. Because if Guy's not a Tar Heel fan, why is this guy Carolina Bull?
Yeah, let's not talk about college basketball because John will go off on a
John's
rant.
here. My bad.
Oh, but we do.
Dude,
we
I
need to.
just don't know what goes
We don't
on.
know. We don't want to see John go off on a
Hey,
rant
look,
on
hey,
NCAA.
I
saw-
have no clue. I have no
I
clue
saw-
what they're talking about.
The Fab Five picture reunited a couple weeks ago, and it made my little heart patter a little. So,
Fab Five from Michigan.
Yep.
yeah, they were all together. First time
Yeah.
in like
Was it 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
first time in decades that they were all together.
One on the coaching bench and the other four in the stands.
Yeah.
Right behind
Did Chris Romer call a timeout?
him. No, they wouldn't let him near the scores table. No.
No, Chris, no.
And, and who did he call that timeout playing against?
Believe
Oh,
it,
yeah,
Carolina.
Christian Leitner, right?
Dude,
No,
Carolina.
Oh, Carolina.
Oh,
Tar Heels, baby.
was it? Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yep.
Tar Heels.
I think it was Dave.
Again,
That was
Brett
in the
brings up-
Superdome.
I think that's Brett. Hang on a second. Let me make sure.
Yeah, Eric Bieniemy going to
Eric
UCLA.
Bieniemy going to UCLA
Yes.
Yeah.
as their offensive coordinator,
Offensive
as opposed
coach.
to staying in the NFL.
How the mighty have fallen. Remember? Did you see this? His stats, like the rise of Kansas City's offense, and then almost dead last this year in
Yes.
Washington.
Well,
So does that mean that Andy Reid is more effective as an offensive coach than Eric Bieniemy?
Well, Andy Reid is probably one of the greatest offensive minds in
The history of
He's
the
a
NFL.
NFL
defensive
coaching
coach,
history.
though.
right?
Right.
Wasn't he more a defensive coach though?
Yeah, he's defensive coach.
Yeah. He came from
Who?
the defensive side. Andy
Andy
Reid.
Reid?
Andy Reid, yeah, but he's
Yeah.
If you remember, Eric Bieniemy's now going home because that was his first coaching job was running backs coach at UCLA.
At UCLA.
Before-
Yep.
Well,
before he got to
UCLA
the
hired
NFL.
a new head coach that has UCLA roots.
Deshaun
Sean
Foster.
Foster.
Yep. And
Let
I'm
me
assuming,
know if you had that on your bingo card.
right. I'm assuming Bieniemy takes this new role
He's a new
to
coach.
prove his OC chops,
We shall see.
to prove that he
Oh,
can do
maybe
it.
he's just tired of dealing with the NFL bullshit.
But you
I
know
guess
what?
to deal with the Big Ten
Sometimes
bullshit.
you just have to take a change of scenery. You know what I mean?
But you know what, Elliot? My opinion of that is that the NCAA with the NIL and all the new shit that's going on with that is more of a powder keg than the NFL. You've seen a lot of coaches come from the college ranks as head coaches and go into the coordinator ranks as in the NFL because they don't want to deal with that bullshit of the NIL and the NCAA.
Yeah, and the transfer portal and all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, and McMahon. I mean, not McMahon.
How do I know that transfer portal? How did I know that?
Right.
Because they only made it news for like 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
I mean, look at Jim
Transfer
McMahon.
portal this, transfer portal that.
Jim McMahon made the jump from college to pro.
I think
Chargers.
that's what got what's his name to retire, right?
What?
Saban.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
whole
The NIL, the
portal,
whole
NIL
NIL
shit.
thing is why Saban retired.
Yeah.
So it's a mess. They're not the NCAA is not approaching this with. I mean,
Isn't
they're
the
not
same
not
thing that
handling it
happened
It's hard to say what the NCAA is focusing on right now.
Isn't this the same thing that happened with who the fuck was it? In golf. Isn't the NIL
well, the
LIV.
Live Golf Tour you're talking about, Elliot?
well that's the live, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But still, I mean
Live Golf took away
Hey.
the
well,
most
look at the
recent
kind of
Masters
money they're
champion.
paying. Look at the kind of money they're paying, dude.
John Rahm went from being solidly with the PGA, and now he's with Live Golf for $300 million.
That's why they got Ronaldo.
Yeah.
With that, with that lift shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's making I mean, insane amounts of money over there.
But with the what
The 400 billion they paid him.
Yep.
Christian
the issue
Ronaldo.
with the Live Golf Tour is it's supported by Saudi Arabia.
Saudi
It's
Arabia.
financed by Saudi Arabia.
Which means it's blood money.
It's blood money
All of it.
going to these players.
I wonder how that's going to work out for WWE, because remember the whole Saudi relationship
Mm-hmm.
was built through Vince McMahon,
Yes. So Vince McMahon is no longer the CEO.
and
He's
now with
charge.
TKO owning the whole shebang, what's that relationship going to be like with Saudi Arabia?
That's
I don't
gonna
know.
put what's his name White in pretty much charge of that.
Yeah,
Dana
well,
White.
and now
You-
the
the UFC
Chargers
guy.
are reaching out and also involving
But don't forget-
Stephanie McMahon as part of the problem as well.
She's been covering it up.
Yes.
Right.
But The Rock is on the board of directors now too.
Hmm.
And he's
You know,
turned heel.
And what's that gonna, No, you know what? He's gonna turn on Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, dude.
Yes, he is.
He's going to reverse kill himself.
Because if you notice, when he put the ones, and everybody put their finger out,
Mm-hmm.
he put more of a like a gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was looking right. He was looking right at Roman Reigns when he said, "I want to make you look like the loser that you are."
Yeah. Well, Roman Reigns is a loser. We all know that.
So,
He's kept the belt longer than he needs to have it, but that's
and then watch for Jay and Jimmy Uso. They're gonna fight at WrestleMania.
well, who's going to fight Roman Reigns?
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
McIntyre's gonna fight Seth Rollins. Rhea is gonna fight Becky Lynch.
What's
And Bayley's
CM Punk going to do?
CM Punk, he tore a tricep.
Really?
Yeah. At the Rumble.
Mm.
Everybody's clowning him because he keeps getting injured every
Well,
time.
he's just getting old too, but it's all right. Let me go forward. Richard Sherman arrested on suspicion of DUI. Did you guys see that?
Yes.
I did.
Well, he always looks like he's drunk on TV. So.
I didn't want to laugh, but that was funny.
And another, in a related news story, Pete Carroll goes, "Don't look at me." No.
Well, since we're talking about Richard Sherman and Pete Carroll, and somehow this is connected to the 49ers with the DC position, who is it going to be, an internal hire, or are they going to go out and get someone?
Who?
The 49ers for a defensive coordinator.
Even the coordinator.
I really wish it wouldn't be an internal hire because I just think that would give Kyle Shanahan too much power.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You
You
gotta.
think John Lynch may go outside the organization and get somebody else in here?
Well, I mean, there's people out there. There's Mike Vrabel.
Right?
That's who I'm hoping for, unless Robert Saleh gets fired and then he can come back.
Saleh.
Which he isn't going to get fired.
No, I know.
All
So
right.
maybe they
On my
can
part.
put her up for another season, and then if Salah is still, whatever. But
Vrabel's still out there.
Vrabel's still out there.
Most of the Cowboys
Hey,
have gotten him.
hey, Belichick's still out there. He's a defensive.
You know what? Belichick is not going to go for a defensive coordinator position. He's going to look for
Why
a head
not?
coaching job.
Why not?
No, I don't think it. I don't think he'll. I mean, I think it's below him.
I think he just want to do it to get a job because he can leverage himself. He can leverage himself against any coach.
Belichick has nothing left to prove as a head coach. He really doesn't.
He's got to win those 15
Have
games.
to win those 15 games.
But he does want to beat Don. He does want to overtake
That's
Don.
the last
Shula.
He
thing- that's the
does,
last
dude.
thing he has to
You know
conquer.
what? You know what? If you believe that he, in his heart of hearts, doesn't want to beat that record, then
You're fooling
I've
yourself.
got some beach land for you in
Right.
Arizona.
What do
that
you
I'd like
think,
to
John?
see.
You've been quiet on this whole issue.
Dude, I'm just sitting here, and I'm muting my mic because my kid's playing, and I don't want
Right.
to. Yeah. No, I'm here. Go Bills. I got nothing, man. I got nothing. What are we talking about here? Football, or was it? I lost track. What's going on?
We're talking about Bill's Belichick.
Bills Belichick. Yeah, Bills Belichick. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Well, one of the rumors.
Belichick goes to the Bills and be the DC. There you go.
Okay. Okay.
Well, one of the rumors I heard was Jeff Ulbrich, internal for the 49ers defensive coordinator.
Ulbrich.
Yep, Jeff Ulbrich. Which, like I said, I personally would prefer Vrabel because I know Robert Sala's got one more year in New York before they can him.
I would prefer Bill Belichick over that guy, even if it's just for one season.
Who, Jeff Ulbrich?
Yeah.
Oh, I would prefer, hell, I would prefer myself over Jeff
Shit,
Ulbrich.
you know what? At this point, Brandon Staley sounds good. Just because he was a shitty head coach doesn't mean he wasn't a good defensive
He was a good
coordinator.
defensive coordinator, that's for sure.
On a more somber note,
Oh God.
there was a funeral ahead for the woman killed during the Chiefs parade shooting today
Yeah, in Kansas City. Yep.
in Kansas City.
Was
She was
well
only-
her and her family were well taken care of.
Lisa Lopez Galvin, and she was 43 years old. She was the only death
Yes.
in that shooting during the parade. The Chiefs have stepped up and done them well. And I mean, even Taylor Swift donated $100,000 for the family.
That was like immediately.
Yes,
We talked about that last week.
yes.
Dropping the bucket.
I respect her for that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, regardless of whatever organization, there's been sports teams that have come out to the forefront. This one was a little bit more out in the open. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more high profile. But a lot of times, this just happens, and this is the society we live in nowadays.
Harrison Butker
We can't go
responded to
through
requests on social media seeking help in obtaining a similar jersey because she was wearing Harrison Butker's jersey when she was killed.
Oh shit!
So I mean, guys, and two juveniles have been arrested and charged with the crime.
I heard two adults.
Juveniles.
I've
I
heard
heard
two
two adults.
adults now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard,
I heard two adults as well. And I saw a video of two guys tackling one of the people running away.
Yeah, those
One guy
two guys.
tackled him, and another guy joined in and helped hold him down.
Got
until
the other
police
one.
arrived.
Right.
So I mean, the Chiefs players have stepped up and tried to help the family, and kudos to the Chiefs for doing that. I mean, the players specifically. I don't know what to say. You know my feelings on gun violence, guys. I mean, I've been pretty open about that. But apparently, this situation had nothing to do with the Chiefs or the parade altogether. It was just two people guys that were having an argument over something, and gunfire played out.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, gone are the days of fisticuffs. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, we settled it with these.
Yes.
Well, like we mentioned last week, there needs to be a more controlled environment for these parades and parties, if you will, as opposed to open air.
Well, you know what?
Hey, what happened? What happened when the assassination of Kennedy happened? There were no more limousine convertibles.
Nope.
Right.
Nope.
Everything was bulletproof all the way
Yeah.
around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the construction of the vehicle was second to none as far as
You're
that
going to
goes.
stay in a bulletproof vehicle with no open top. Period. That's how it's
Yeah,
started.
Okay, let me toss something out. When the Rangers won the World Series, they had their victory parade circle around the ballpark, around the entire area,
Yeah.
where the entire area for all the stadiums, and it worked out fine. It was like one arrest, and that was at the beginning of the parade, and that was it.
Yeah.
No violence, no pushing and shoving, no nothing. I mean, to their credit, they
where was it held?
did a good job. Do what?
Where was it held?
It was around the Rangers ballpark, around
In
the
Arlington?
yeah,
You mean the barn?
yeah,
See, Arlington's a nice area.
it is. Well, fairly nice. I mean,
Kansas City, not so much.
yeah, well, that's true, but yeah, I mean,
It's
to
like
their credit,
night
they
and
did a
day.
great job with the parade, and they had security all over the place. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they did a fantastic job.
For
They
the
did a
longest
lot better
time,
than Kansas City did.
for the longest time, parades have been a part of championships.
Mm-hmm.
But again, today's society is making it almost impossible
Well, and
to
again, they're
continue to
talking.
do that.
I mean, my thinking on this is that I've seen articles that say that maybe they should have put the parade and the celebration into the stadium so that security can filter out and check everybody coming in like a regular NFL game
Mm-hmm.
Right.
to try and
Ain't no guns getting in. Ain't no guns getting in.
with no guns getting in. Correct.
Exactly.
You're going to
Y'all
limit
can
it to
fight all
about
y'all want,
80,000
man.
compared to the 1 million they had out there.
Yes.
But that's fine. That's just a sacrifice you have to make. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes you got to adjust for the better of all, not just the better of one.
Well, and for safety reasons, Elliot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it. It's totally about safety.
I'd like
I
to.
mean, if you can't control the guns, then you got to control the environment in which you celebrate.
Right. To switch topics and answer a question for Brett, Doc Rivers, not only is he getting booed in Philly, he's getting booed in Milwaukee.
Yes, yes.
I mean, they've played a couple good games here recently, today included, but they were playing the Sixers. The Sixers are totally undermanned without Joel Embiid.
Yeah, well, the Sixers beat the Cavaliers at home in Cleveland, so I'm not on board with that match, but that's okay.
Yeah, well,
I'd like to speak on something else for just a moment.
Go ahead, Ken.
right ahead,
It's
man.
another kind of version of mob mentality. And this one happened at the end of the Duke Wake Forest game last night.
Oh yeah,
I was going to bring it up. Yes, yes.
Yes,
Kyle Filipowski.
Kyle Filipowski, trying to get off the court, gets pretty much attacked by a rowdy bunch of Wake Forest kids, and
Yep.
got tripped up and
Sprained ankle.
sprained his knee, I think. It's
Knee.
sprained knee. Had to be helped off the court. Had a few choice words after the game, and so did the Duke coach. I'm not a big Duke fan by any stretch of the imagination. I don't like Duke, but this was ridiculous. And
Well, when it comes
needs to happen.
when it comes to player safety, Ken, you shut out the rivalries and get a good.
That's right. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
It's getting out of hand because
I mean, Wake Forest rushed the fans rushed the court,
mm-hmm.
and Filipowski ended up with a sprained ankle, had to be helped off the court
Right.
because of it.
It's happened to Caitlin Clark. It's happened to somebody else. No, I can't remember who it was. David Jones of Memphis.
Okay.
It's. I mean, Duke's coach says, what are we going to do to stop this? I'm not sure you can stop it. ACC is the only conference that does not fine perpetrators for doing this. I mean, SEC, it's $100,000 the first time, $250,000 the second time,
And
then after that,
500,000 the third time.
yeah,
And all the times thereafter.
right. I would like to see Wake Forest next home game played in an empty gym, and as a punishment. And then after that, if it ever happens again, then I don't know. I mean, do you ban them from postseason play? I mean, I don't know. But this was absolutely ridiculous. It was way too lax.
Look,
security
court storming should be banned.
Yes, absolutely.
From
It should
all
be.
events.
They have absolutely no business being on there any more than the players having business being in the stands.
Do we have?
We seen how it happened back in the day. I remember two in particular. One was Chris Chambliss when he hit that home run in the playoff series in Kansas City, where he had to practically tackle people all the way around the bases.
Pushed one out of the way at second base.
Yeah, and I mean it's just crazy. It's just crazy with these fans.
Well,
I go back to the '69 Mets when they won.
69 Mets. I was just thinking about that one.
The same
They tore the field to pieces.
Yeah, the same issue can be compared to football and college football.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have we seen upsets and the fans just storm the field?
Yeah. Tennessee tore the
Tennessee
goalpost
tore
down
the
and threw it in the
goalpost down
river.
and put it in the freaking river, for
Yeah.
God's sake.
Now here's the thing.
That cost them
And they beat
$250,000.
Alabama. Right.
Here's where I think the buck stops, and that is that I don't think they want to dish out the money that it takes to provide the security to put an end to that shit.
Obviously.
Okay, you have to have a wall of bodies all the way around that is, and I mean, riot gear if you have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But nobody gets on the field.
Nope.
And that's how you stop it. But again, that costs, and I don't know if universities are up for that. It's going to probably have to, something like that's probably going to have to be mandated at some point.
Well, the NCAA has allowed each conference to handle it themselves, and it may be time for the NCAA to just say, okay, we'll take it upon ourselves.
Yeah, we'll take it upon exactly.
But I mean, they're too busy dealing with NIL right now. And
Well, not only that, but also
crap.
the 12 team playoff too, Ken.
Yes.
Well, being a Tar Heels fan, as you no doubt can see with the gear I'm wearing, and being a absolute diehard hater of the other team, I don't even say their name.
Right.
That made me mad.
Hey, does it rhyme with puke?
It rhymes with puke. It rhymes with puke. But it made me mad when I saw him get hurt. With the stupid Wake Forest fans running on the floor.
Right.
Now, I'm glad they lost, but to see a player get injured because
that's not good.
You don't want to see that.
Security,
You don't want to see that.
Get this, Wayne.
You just don't want to see it. You don't want to see it happen.
Get this, Wayne. There were Carolina fans who went on Twitter and said he's faking it. And I'm going,
I believe
wait
it.
a second. Let's have the brakes
he's
on that.
not faking it. He's not faking it.
He's not faking it.
He's not faking it.
Just think about the way like some of these soccer games overseas.
Yes.
Where the crowds get crushed.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
In European soccer, if you have any incident like that, it's called pitch invasion. And if that happens, then their next match is played in an empty stadium. Yeah. They do not tolerate that at all.
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen numerous times.
Yeah.
And
that's the way they should probably do it.
South America.
Yep. Because you know how much money they lose if they get penalized.
Exactly.
And concessions alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
People in the stadium,
TV money, all that shit. So, that would be a pretty severe penalty. But
it would be.
It would I think it would fix the problem. Or it'd be a step in the right direction. That's
right. Guys, let me ask you this for next week. Do you think we need to bring Ron Gallo in for hockey this week?
Sure.
Oh, I'm down with hockey. My Red Wings are on roll right now.
I ain't got my Rangers gear yet.
Well, get your Rangers gear and gear up for it, because I want to.
Rangers, I thought you were Islanders, man. You got two teams in hockey too?
I do Rangers or Islanders.
Oh, Rangers or Islanders. Okay, I got you.
Well, there's a new favorite in Rangers land, that Matt Remke kid.
Oh, yeah, the 6'7" guy.
Oh, my goodness, that fight that he had yesterday.
Yeah, he beat the crap out of that.
Dude, wow.
On that note, let me just say this. Congratulations to Nikita Kucherov for getting his 100th point of the season today.
Wow.
And how's Tampa doing?
Tampa is third in the division. They're fourth, actually. They're fourth.
Wow.
Every time I look up, they're losing.
They're 22 points out of first place. So.
So no President's Cup for you guys this year.
I know, right?
Ahead of the Red Wings, right?
What's that?
They're only 6 points ahead of the Red Wings, right?
They're actually only 1 point ahead of the Red Wings.
1 point ahead of the Red Wings.
We could actually see a Red Wings playoff team this year.
That's what I'm looking for.
First time in 6 years?
My dad will be happy.
After Stevie Y left, let's just say we fell on hard times.
Yep.
Edmonton is 15 points behind the Canucks in their division, John.
It's all right. We're fine.
Yeah. So
we've lost 3 in a row, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean the Lightning are behind the Bruins, the Panthers, and the Maple Leafs in the division. So in the Eastern Conference. But yeah, congrats to Nikita Kushner. Again, first player to reach 100 points in a season. First player this season. So
This season.
yes. Yes.
Cool story, man.
Go
McDavid will
ahead.
be there soon. Don't worry.
What's that?
Yep.
McDavid will be there soon.
Is Draisaitl on a pace for that?
No, he's not having an off year, but he's not up in the top 10 or anything.
Has he been hurt this year?
No, it's just with that slow start that the Oilers had, kind of
Yeah.
killed both of them at the
Is
to get
it?
those big points.
Isn't Austin Matthews tearing it up right
Oh
now?
yeah, man,
Yes,
he's
he
off
is.
the ringer, dude. The Leafs have won like 8 or 7 in a row or something. Like
Seven.
they're playing really good, man.
Seven.
That's okay. They're losing the playoffs. They're losing the first round.
The Leafs, man. Come on, of course. Yeah.
That's a first round exit.
But no, that would be typical. My life would be, they'll probably win the Stanley Cup the year that I said I'm not cheering for the
The
Leafs.
year you disowned them, yeah.
Year that you
right.
die, maybe.
Then you got to fill out a bandwagon.
But dude, I
You
listen,
gotta fill out that application.
You got
I put
to
40
get back
plus
on,
years
yeah.
into that team. I'm allowed
The
to
only-
have a
Only thing I
year
could
off.
think of that could make that worse if Toronto beat Edmonton in the finals.
Oh, dude, I would well, that's my dream Cup final because I would not care who won or lost, right? I mean,
But wait a minute, you disowned the Maple Leafs.
I know, I'm allowed to have a grumpy little bit.
Ken, you should be happy the Stars are in first place in their
They
conference.
are, and I'm very happy about that. Yeah, if they can
Yeah,
just
I'm
keep
just happy
it.
that Detroit
Stay in there.
finally got some players that actually can skate.
And they're running a 4-game win streak too, Wayne. So,
Yeah, I know that they finally got back into contention for the wild card spot. I think
Yes.
they're number 7 if the season were to stop today.
Mhm.
They're the top wild card.
But get this. I cannot watch the Dallas Stars play because all of their games, home and away, are blacked out in this market.
It's crazy, man.
It is insane.
Gotta love Texas.
It's with everywhere else too. I mean, it's something to do with Valley.
Oh, the region.
Valley
If
Sports,
you have
yeah.
packages,
Valley
Yeah,
Sports.
yeah,
it's
Valley
the
Sports.
regional. Yeah.
yeah. If you're on Valley, I mean, you don't get to see them home or away.
well, Valley.
I've got
actually-
ESPN Plus. And I can see every other team, but I can't see the Stars.
Yeah, but Valley has filed for bankruptcy
Well, like
because
here.
they're not.
Yeah,
they're
but they got bailed out now.
Like here, not that I care, but I can't see Orlando games or Miami games or anything like that because they're blocked out. It's a blackout,
Yeah,
and that's because of the local stations.
I don't get to see the Dallas Mavericks either.
And then YouTube TV doesn't offer the Sunshine Channel or whatever it is.
Be right back.
So that's a no-go. See, now after I'm done with the show, I got to go find some hockey gear.
I'm gonna have to give me a Red Wings hat.
Need to
Now
find
they're
I
in a
got
playoff
a Stars cap, but I need to find man. The jerseys are like $175 a piece.
Yes.
Good
Not
God!
Not if you're buying bootleg.
I ain't getting a bootleg.
Hey, they work. They're just as good as the real thing. Only a lot cheaper.
No, to say the least.
I ain't never had a problem with them types of jerseys.
Cheaper in more ways than one. Holy! Then you finally came
Never had a problem with them. You know what? I still got my Islanders hat over there, so maybe I'll wear it.
Mhm.
I'm trying so hard to keep this muted while the
No,
crazies
don't worry
are
about
They're
it.
going
No,
crazy, John.
let it come in, man. I'm enjoying it.
Don't sweat
What?
it. You know, the background sounds great, yeah.
You know how many times I've told them to be quiet over the past 10 minutes?
But it doesn't matter, John. They don't listen to you.
Man, they're children. Come on now.
In fact, I'm gonna get a music track so I can play it behind you when you do the prayer, a prayer hymn or some shit.
Have kids in your 40s, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
Yeah, wrong.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Trust me,
Wrong.
I went through it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting.
Clarky, hockey glass around the court on NBA basketball would not work. I'm
No.
sorry.
What? What wouldn't work?
John, did you ever get rid of your bird?
No, they're
Glass
still
around
here.
the
They're just quiet. Yeah.
Elliot, that's what he said. The hockey glass around the basketball court.
No, that's
No,
not.
I don't think
Nah,
so.
that
No.
ain't gonna
Not gonna happen.
No.
I think the answer to that is increased security
Yes,
around the court.
absolutely.
I mean, that goes for both NCAA and NBA.
We don't have that
They're
problem
not
in
gonna
the
put
NBA.
it on NBA like that. Fuck
To the
that.
point where they don't allow people on the court after a win, and just
Right.
it's just stupid. I mean, the kids are
Unless you're the
due
Boston
because
Celtics.
he's got a sprained ankle and he may not play the next couple of games, and that's. I mean, that's what happens when fans storm the court. I mean, if you watch the video, I mean, they were trying to get him off, but he couldn't get out. He couldn't get out of the way of the fans storming the court, and it caused an injury. And then you see the whole, as many players as you can pull this guy off the floor
Right.
so that he doesn't get injured anymore.
Yeah, they definitely hovered around him to get him off the court.
Right.
I want him to be healthy because I don't want any excuses when the Tar Heels go in there and smack that ass.
Awesome, Wayne.
Is that at Cameron Indoor Asylum?
Yes. All right, guys, it's 8:30. Let's get out of here. I want to thank my co-host, Mr. Ken Koslow, John G. Olson, Mr. Wayne Lynch, and, of course, Elliot Biggie da Barba Lamba. We are the Sports Nerds. We are here every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be back next Sunday at the same time. And on that note, Elliot, hit the outro.
No, I can't. John hasn't said the prayer yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. John, say the prayer. Thank you. The kids.
The kids?
Oh.
Let Ken do it. It's getting crazy here.
All right, Ken, you do it.
All right. Heavenly Father, bless each and every one of us, the ones that have been here and support us, the ones that could be here and support us, our friends that we have lost, and our friends that may be in bad health, that we need them to be fully recovered. We know your guiding hands can do that. We ask all these names, these prayers in the name of Christ. Amen.
Amen. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
That's all right, John. You got to.
We're going to the outro anyway.
It's all good.
We're going to the outro anyway.
Go ahead, Elliot.
Peace out, nation.
Peace.
And there you have it, folks. Another episode of the Sports Nerd Show in the books, and it's on to the next. Thanks each and every one of you for joining us. We do sincerely hope you will come back next week as we roll out another episode of the Sunday Night Sports Nerd Show. But until then, on behalf of the Sports Nerd Scott Wright and his co-hosts John Olson, Ken Koslow, and me, Big E, we'd like to wish you all a great night and an excellent week that's filled with all the sports content any sports fan could possibly ask for. That's right, boys and girls. You've just been hit with a pack rant from the Rant Pack. And with that, Sports Nerd Nation, we are out.